And if you look on social media, Mr. Sakasali, the perception is that the president seemed to revere only certain sections of chiefs, if it's their Santa.
Yeah, I mean,
should we rubbish that?
First of all, I don't think that is a perception on social media. I don't think it's disputable. My brothers here sitting down and creating the impression the president disrespected, the president doesn't have the temperament and all that. There was a particular person, J.J. Rollins, as he himself actually alluded to, that took Ndebugri to the courts, and the courts said that there was
a cell in Boko.
Yes. Even that one, he is not saying that Rollins doesn't have the temperament to rule Ghana. Even that one that even went to court. The president, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, was not directing his anger on the chief.
So what
I'm coming. The president, the chief was sitting so far away from the president.
But the chief dressed differently than all of us.
No, what I'm saying is that the chief was sitting far away from the president. The chief did not even know what the president was talking about. Massa. The president was talking.
Is the chief an illiterate?
No, I'm saying that the chief was sitting far away from the president. The president was not shouting on the chief. Get it well. I mean, the propagandists, get it. It's not everywhere that you do propaganda, especially when I'm there. I won't allow you to do that. The president was directing his regional minister. All the anger was on the regional minister. And he was asking the regional minister to go and ask. Meanwhile, let me let you know.
Can we have Daniel, please? Can we have our mind to?
Yeah, I bet it
to the video again,
yes.
So that you said he was.
Yes, he was telling the regional minister. You see, so the chief sitting far away could not have known what the president was doing.
How embarrassed my
you understand? No, you see, when you were talking, I was not. You see, when you were talking, if you interject me, I will continue to do the interjection. Yes. So he's telling the regional minister. Have you seen it? Where is the chief in the video? For anybody to say that the president was disrespecting the chief.
So why did the Mimpasa chief come to react?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The president asked the regional minister to go and ask him. And then the regional minister went to the chief. And that was where the chief got to realize that, the president was talking about him. So it is not like a direct a contact or direct statement from the president to the chief. The president used the regional minister to go and ask the chief. And what is wrong with going to ask? If the president did not do that, if the president did not ask the regional minister to go and ask, all of us sitting here would not have known the reason why the chief was sitting. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So for propagandists, you see, when I sat here and I told you, even before they talk, they are so predictable. They are so predictable that you can know what an NDC person is going to say, even before the person even opened the mouth. So I told you he was going to come at the president for nothing.
Okay. So Mr. Sakasalia,
yes.
If this video had not come out, any other content from the event would have just been public comment and subsequent explanations. But this is a video, and your interpretation, many people will say, is different from the way the president reacted to whoever was behind. Subsequently, we know that it's now the Mimpasa chief. There's a reason why when this video came, it never got the eye of the mainstream media, because we couldn't verify whether it was a chief or not. But the communication that came with the word, there was a chief who had not stood up when the national anthem was. Do you not think?
Yeah.
Let me ask a question. Do you not think that it is the reaction of the president to the individual or the chief who was not in the space or in the camera or in the picture, and then whereupon he directed his regional minister and subsequently kept reacting after that directive, that has elicited or engendered this sort of debate about whether the president's temperament was right, etc.
That is, the president mirrors the country. When the chief was sitting down,
you said the president what?
He mirrors all of us.
The president is a reflection.
He's a reflection
of
all of us. Okay. When the chief was sitting down, it wasn't the president alone who saw the chief. There were others who were so angry about it. So if the president did not ask the minister to go and ask the chief why he alone was sitting down whilst others were standing, I think that even something else would have happened in our blank side. It is possible somebody might have felt that the chief was disrespecting the country, the chief was disrespecting the whole show, the chief was disrespecting the whole president and all that. And something else could have happened. We don't know. But because the president solicited the explanation from the chief, today my brother sitting here now know the reason why the chief was sitting down. Would you have known if the president did not do so? So I'm saying that no matter what you think about the president, no matter what you were told to come and vilify the president, this matter of the chief has nothing to do with the president. Look at the other one. He was telling Ghanaians that the president was standing on Ghana flag. This is a program that, this is a program that the president went. And he was standing on the podium. It's not about Ghana flag. People use Ghana flag for all manner of things. I know when Black Stars play football match, people do anything with Ghana flag. But in this case, they are showing that the respect that the Ghana flag deserves. And are you telling me that because look, if you look at it well, the red, it's a different what do you call it?
Shade.
It's a different shade from the flag itself. So you cannot say that the president was standing on the Ghana flag and all that. So let's be honest with ourselves. I mean, the chief himself, knowing very well that he erred, came out and apologized. The president, the good people of Ghana, accepted the apology. Some group of people say that no, they don't understand. They don't understand why the chief should apologize. And even if the chief apologized, the president was wrong. The president should direct his anger on something else. What else hasn't the president directed his anger? What else hasn't the president done that? The president over the past years, you talk about that we dissipated our COVID funds. COVID funds account.
I think the commentary is that the president should direct his
went
anger.
to parliament. You know, the finance minister went to parliament to account every peso of the COVID fund. Indeed, the people who gave the funds to us said that Ghana have accounted for every peso of the fund. Yes. The people, I'm saying that.
Did you read the special
I'm saying that
audit report on the COVID expenditure?
It's not that, but it's the special audit report, yes. I'm saying the people who gave the money to us told us.
Told you and who?
Told us, Ghanaians, that the president, the government, have accounted every peso of the COVID funds.
So the auditor general did a bad job?
No, the auditor, the audit, special audit, we all know, I mean, the processes of auditing. If you have problem or if there is a problem with the way it was spent, they will have to bring it. But the explanation will have to go forth. So it doesn't mean that the audit report is always sacrosanct. But what I'm saying is that this matter went to parliament. The finance minister went and gave account of whatever that he received and how it has been spent. So you cannot come and sit here and create the impression as if, everything was wrong with the COVID fund and all that. So in conclusion, I think that we don't have to, continue to belabor this matter.
Okay.
That the president, actually acts a chief. The president hasn't disrespected. Indeed, they himself have alluded to the fact that the president himself comes from a royal family. The president will never disrespect any chief, whether or not the chief is coming from his side. The Aflao chief, the president never. Indeed, the Aflao chief rather disrespected Ghana. I'm not here to tell, because what he was saying at that time, the people of the government had already even the school, the E-block that he was talking about was about 90-something% complete. 95. But 95% complete. Yes. And then he was saying that we have abandoned it. So how can the chief say those things? And for me, I think that is a buried issues. These are issues that are long gone. We don't need to go and then resurrect them and come and sit here and rehash and talk about them. The fact of the matter is that the president did what he did, and Ghanaians are saying he was right. You can decide to disagree with his demeanor or whatever, but the passion with which the president exudes when it comes to Ghana, I don't think that if you are somebody who do not exude such passion, you will have problem with it. You can do whatever politics you want to do, but the fact still remains that the president did not do anything wrong. The chief confirmed that by apologizing to the president and the people of Ghana.
Right. Just a minute each, then we can go on to it. There's an issue about some stalling of road projects and then some...
Yes, we'll get to that. It's important that we analyze
You say you're overreacting.
critically the body language of President Akufo-Addo.
In this event, at this
You
event.
see, there are different unpatriotic things that have happened in this country. And I want us to avert our minds to analyzing and understanding how President Akufo-Addo reacted through his body language to all these particular unpatriotic things that have occurred in this country.
Which
One,
one?
when President Akufo-Addo was going to clear the PDS matter, an issue where the state had been defrauded, and even the minister had stated that the entire PDS deal was fraudulent. President Akufo-Addo stood on the podium, he was laughing and smiling, and then he said the matter, he cleared the entire issue.
Which podium?
Till date, over 580 million haven't been paid back to ECG by PDS. Two, when President Akufo-Addo was to clear a man who said he wasn't thinking right in using our funds, over 120 million, in procuring drugs that never arrived in this country, President Akufo-Addo stood on the podium, he was laughing at a very unpatriotic activity and said, Health Minister Mpo, dear, wabre. When President Akufo-Addo was to clear a presidential staffer, Charles Bissiu, who was caught on camera using saliva to count bundles of corruption money from galamseyers, he stood on the podium and he laughed and he said there was no substance in that particular matter. No, President Akufo-Addo will only smile
Which podium
to
did that happen?
unpatriotic incidents like corruption.
Which podium did
He would only smile. Why? President Akufo-Addo never cleared Charles Bissiu.
On which podium?
President Akufo-Addo didn't go to the health
Charles
minister's
Bissiu
hometown.
was investigated by the CIA.
No,
He's even
before he
been
was
investigated
investigated,
by the
no,
OSP.
don't be mischievous.
Current-
No, don't be mischievous.
currently before the OSP.
Charles Bissiu was investigated, the president said there was no substance in the corruption allegations
is not
leveled
true.
against Charles Bissiu. He stated that in real terms.
It is not
President
true.
Akufo-Addo went to the health minister's hometown, stood before the chiefs and laughed and said, Health Minister Mpo, they were bread.
talking about him.
What we are saying is that there have been severe unpatriotic actions that have even subjected this nation to ridicule. There have been severe unpatriotic decisions that have caused great financial loss to this particular country. But when it has to do with bundles, when it has to do with corruption, you would find the mother serpent of corruption laughing to an
Why are you
unpatriotic
using words like
action.
mother serpent?
Because Martin Amidu, his appointee, said it.
Do you know what he said
He
about,
stood there
about your
and said that you will find the mother serpent of corruption laughing
Please end
to an
this.
unpatriotic
We have to go
activity.
on to that.
But when it has to do with a sick chief, a chief who even in Islamic religion, he had all moral right to sit before the Almighty God, you find President Akufo-Addo losing some sense of body intelligence, losing some sense of emotional intelligence, acting. And you see, all I will say to land is that President Akufo-Addo may be forgiven because, like I said, he didn't grow up in a traditional Ghanaian home where we were taught
what do you mean by
morals.
that? Where-
Then
do you know where he was
Admona
born?
rightly said that even if you enter a palace and a chief does something,
But you know the
as a
president
child,
comes from a royal
you
family,
will
so
not
you can't
do
make
that.
those statements.
But if
Conclusive.
we were trained, look, I was trained in such a way
I'm not sure you
that
were
if I sit before the chief of Mempe Assem and he even commits a bigger atrocity, I'd find it difficult reacting the way the president did. And so, probably because he didn't grow up in a traditional Ghanaian home, that is why, I mean, he would exhibit that sense of lack of emotional intelligence in this particular activity. But I think that, look, we must call the president to order. The speed at which he disrespects our traditional authorities, the speed at which he disrespects our traditional rulers is getting out of hand. And if care is not taken, our traditional corridors may be desecrated by President Akufo-Addo, and the entire nation, one of these days, may be plunged into a very disrespectful and disregarding spear that we
Saka
will wake
says
up
that
one day
you should
and
not-
you'll
you should
find
not be worried
kids
about
even disrespecting. Saka has sat here for over 5 minutes trying to justify what President Akufo-Addo did, trying to explain, trying to rebrand it. You know why he's doing that? It's because there's a problem with what President Akufo-Addo did, and we must call him to order. With all greatest of respect and sincere honesty, he must stop that disregard for our traditional authorities. That's what we're saying.
But finally, are we not overreacting to this? And then how do we find some truce? Because the president is the executive head of the land.
So, precisely the reason for which President Akufo-Addo should be able to guide his temperament and to want to find out the raison d'etre behind the chief's inability to stand for the national anthem. Failing that, I am sure that the president himself should feel very sad that he reacted in that manner, and the chief's explanation should just tell the president that, look, this actually is Piwanic. The second thing that I wanted to expose is that even the Regional Coordinating Council, headed by Henry Koti, had issued a statement saying that the president's anger was directed at the chief and not at the regional minister. For Isaac Asalia to come and sit in this studio and want to paint the picture that the president's anger was directed at the regional minister, when the Regional Coordinating Council has actually issued a statement saying that no, it was directed at the chief, should tell you how in the desperate attempt to defend the indefensible.
You're not getting it.
Can I make my point?
Yeah, the regional minister was used as agent.
Can I make my
to get
point?
at the chief.
That's your explanation.
Yes.
Is that what the regional
So he
coordinator
was used as
Can I
agent.
make my point? Be
The regional
decent.
was
I
used-
said when we were growing up, I taught you certain manners when we were growing
You never
up.
taught me anything.
I taught you.
I am. I'm telling you
So that-
the president anger was the
I can
regional minister
understand.
was
I
used
can
as
understand
agent.
you because
You understand what I'm saying?
you were supposed to be
so that is it.
you were supposed to be the higher apparent to ICQ, and it didn't come. Kwete came. So just keep quiet. We understand.
What is it?
So obviously, what is what? Don't laugh about it. I feel incensed. So it's obvious that you are not even following the trends from the Regional Coordinating Council to the presidency and all that. Look, if our elders will admit that the president goofed, it will do this nation a lot of honor.
What do you mean by the president goofed?
In fact, he tombed.
Oh,
Bamboozled.
Bum. What the president did was out of fashion. It doesn't sit well with the aura surrounding the presidency. And we must call it that, look, the president must act in such conduct that will elicit respect for the high office of president. In this manner, he did not. And I'm saying that there are many issues that the president should be angry about. That roads are not being constructed and people are not getting they are getting their vehicles broken down, accidents are occurring. President is not worried about the very mandate for which he has been elected to work on. President doesn't know that the Ghanaian workers are being shortchanged by the poor levels of income. President is not worried that fire service workers' rent allowances have not been paid for the past eight months. President is not worried that prison officers just pass by the police hospital road and see prison officers. They bring their fridges and things out. They don't have proper accommodation. These are the things that the president...
but the president is trying.
These are the things that the president should be angry about.
See why he did that?
These are the things that the president should be angry about, and not because a chief was unable to stand for a national anthem. No.